Hello and welcome into a guitar hang. Welcome. We're hanging out, talking about guitars, talking about my week in music. Cheers. So, big things happening for me, lots of musical journeys this week. We'll start with today. I drove out to Red Wing with two of my guitars, the Jason Isbell Telecaster and my Squier 40th anniversary Jazzmaster. I brought both of them out to Brian at Tree Strings just for setups and kind of have them run through them. I've owned both of those guitars for roughly about a year now, and I've just kind of done my own maintenance on them. I've been fairly happy with where they're at. When I bring them out to Brian, I know that he goes through with a pretty keen eye. He takes a look at the frets, which I don't really know much about how to work on frets. He sets the neck. He looks at action and neck height. He told me that the Telecaster, he was wondering if maybe there were some shims under the neck because it looked like it was sitting up pretty high. And so those are just things that he knows off the bat. He can file the nut so that the strings fit into the nut a little bit better at the gauges that I like. For the most part, I'd gotten the guitars where I wanted them. And really the Jason Isbell Telecaster, Jason Isbell Telecaster. I always want to say Isabel. Looks like Isabel, but it's Isabel. So that guitar is maybe the most set up. I had, adjusted the pickup height, adjusted string height, intonated somewhat. I had put in the compensated brass saddles on that one. So just with everything kind of set as it was playing pretty good. And then when I get it back from Brian, it's going to play really good. It's going to be sweet. And then I was pretty happy after talking to him for a bit about the Squier Jazzmaster, because he seemed to think over the past few weeks, kind of going over that guitar, I had realized that the nut was off center. Like it had, this is the nut where the strings rest right here, and it was kind of like pushed down this way. And when I originally bought that guitar, the box that it came in said that the neck was crooked on it, and the guy who sold it to me told me that that wasn't the box for that guitar, that they had sent the other one back, but that was the box that they gave me. And so then when I saw that the nut had gotten pushed down, and I didn't remember that I had done that, I didn't notice it or anything, I kind of figured that maybe they had pushed the nut down to compensate for the neck being crooked. But Brian doesn't think that's the case. I'll certainly probably hear more from him tomorrow about everything. He generally kind of does all of his work, and then if there's anything that needs to be discussed, calls and discusses. So I'll know more tomorrow about that. Was a fun drive. It's about an hour drive for me to get out there. That is quite the ways to drive. To drop off some guitars and have them set up, but that's how much I really think that it's worth, especially having him do it. I know my guitars are in good hands, and when I get them back, they are most certainly going to play and sound better than what I could have done. And then my goal from that point on is to just maintain what he's set up. So then, yeah, that was it for the guitars. We hung out and talked a bit at his shop, which is always fun to catch up with him and just talk camping, fishing, guitars, music. He had listened to the album and gave me, some really good feedback on the album, told me that he enjoyed it and that he really dug it. So if you haven't yet, go check out Feeling Good, Feeling Great by No Regard. Hear me play some guitar, give us some support on Spotify. So then other than that, in my musical journeys for the week, a little while ago, I had seen a post on Facebook about a band looking for a guitar player, or, just looking for members in general. And it was kind of like an Americana, old school country, kind of like Tom Petty rock kind of thing. A little bit of Chris Stapleton, a little bit of Jason Isbell, a lot of John Prine, which is not an artist that I can outright say I really like. I've tried. I've been listening to some John Prine, and they put together a playlist on Spotify too that has some John Prine songs in it that I was like, oh, these are songs I really like. So sometimes that's all I need is like, I need a few songs to get me in and kind of get me thinking, oh, I'm interested, and then usually I can kind of find something along the way. So I sat down and had an interview with the bass player for that band, and we just kind of talk shop, drink a few beers, kind of try to figure out what we're interested in and if it would be a good fit. And so now on November 14th, which is a Thursday, is going to be the first band practice where I go try out and go jam with them. And that's why I'm playing my acoustic. They're looking for kind of a rhythm acoustic guitar player or electric. So I'll bring both, but it's going to be a lot of chord strumming, a little bit more singer-songwriter-ish, which I'm really excited about. I told him one of like my big goals is to be able to show up at like an open mic night and be able to play 3 songs on my own, be able to play them and sing them. So it's gonna really push me in that direction. I'm gonna have to be forced there doing some cover songs. So I'll have to be learning some cover songs. And yeah, so hopefully I can learn to play and sing when I'm with them and kind of do a different thing. The No Regard thing is rock, hip hop, metal, not really metal, heavy blues rock with hip hop. I don't know how you classify it, but really excited to kind of get into a new project and do something that I think I'm going to be really happy to be a part of, for sure. So, other than that, what's new in the music world? There's a new Tremonti song out. I just caught that mosquito and then killed it. That was pretty cool. Little flex. Yeah, new Tremonti single for the album that's coming out. I gave it 1 or 2 listens. Sounded cool. Good stuff. I've been listening to a lot of the Post Malone F1 Trillion album. I wouldn't say that that's really my cup of tea of music, but it is October 29th today, which means Halloween is 2 days away. one day away at this point. And I am going to be Post Malone. I've had a few people at work, or my boss specifically, kind of make fun of me at moments for kind of looking Post Malone-ish. So tomorrow or Thursday, I'm going all out. I have got face tattoos, hand tattoos. I got a specific hat, I got a specific shirt. I think the pants I want to wear are gonna work. I'm gonna wear some shoes. I'm gonna have a Solo cup. I'm gonna have a big old Bud Light. I'm gonna have a fake lit cigarette. Doing all of the Post Malone things. I'm gonna say yes sir, yes ma'am. Be super polite. That's all of the YouTube videos I've watched. That's kind of how he presents himself. Yeah, kind of going for current country style Post Malone. So that'll be fun. What else? What else happened musically? No new pedals. I was at Twin Town today. Okay, so then, you know, joining this band, you know, this is typical guitar player. You're joining a new band, so you're justifying what you're gonna need for this new band. I've been looking at some new acoustic guitars. While I do love and appreciate this guitar, it's an okay guitar. I wouldn't say it's a great one. I'm definitely going to use it for the time being, as kind of a filler for the band until I really know it's going to be a serious thing, and then I will start looking at some better acoustics. That's one thing I've wanted for a while. The hard thing about acoustics is to kind of get into the nice, you know, kind of lifetime worthwhile type of acoustic guitar. You're getting into the Martins, the Taylors, upscale Yamahas, Gibsons. You know, I would really like to get a Martin, but I don't know if that's realistic. I mean, like a D18, a current one, is like $3,000, and I don't have that kind of money. Don't have that kind of money. A lot of the stuff I've been hearing is the Taylor 100 series. The 114 is kind of like their version of a D18. I don't know if I can get past the stigma of like, there's a large group of people that don't like the sound of Taylors and don't use them for the style of music I'm gonna be making, while the 114 is a much more affordable. I mean, it comes in at like $800 compared to $3,000, and you're getting some of the best craftsmanship you can get in an acoustic guitar, with the possibility of if the neck ever goes bad on a Taylor, it can be serviced and fixed for $50. And a Martin or a Gibson, you're looking at $200 to $300 to get a neck reset, you know. So yeah, so I've been looking at acoustic guitars. Kind of the big thing for me too with acoustic guitars is I don't it's not the first thing I go to a shop and pick up and play, so I haven't played a lot. So I did go to Twin Town today on my way back from Tree Strings, and played. You know, I played the Taylor 114 for, you know, good half hour. I was kind of going back and forth between the D18, the Taylor. There was an Alvarez there from the 70s that they have at like $1,200, and that's like Alvarez's kind of version of a D18. You know, on the website, they really kind of marketed that Alvarez as like a really great guitar. And I think of the three, this is a hard distinction to kind of make, because while I don't think it sounded bad, I did notice that it's a Alvarez from the 70s, so it's old and it's got some of the checking and stuff happening, but the action was real low on it, which was nice for playing. You know, you could really play it, and it was easy to play. But when I started to kind of lay into it, big chords like that, it was really kind of fretting out. It couldn't handle kind of really giving it a good hit, which, you know, may not always, you know, it's not the most important thing in an acoustic guitar, but the Taylor, for sure, when I was laying into that thing, I don't know if it was the strings they had on it, but like the low end that was coming out of it, it was really boomy and big. And that's another thing where, like, that might feel good in the moment and feel good when you're just kind of playing on your own, but maybe in the context of a band, and maybe that's why, like, that kind of genre doesn't really go for that guitar. The Martin, you know, for being a $3,000 guitar compared to an $800 guitar, the Taylor being $800 and the Martin being $3,000, I don't know that it doesn't really seem like the $3,000 price tag is really worth it. It didn't blow me away so much, or I didn't pick that one up and be like, this is so much better than the Taylor that it's worth the $3,000, you know, other than the name on it, which is a bummer. And it's kind of a bummer that it comes with that big stigma of, like, you know, a Martin is like a bluegrass country guy kind of. That's a real acoustic guitar, and a Taylor isn't. So I don't know which route I will go quite yet. I've heard there's some Yamaha stuff kind of in that same $800 to $900 range that's really great too. So that'll be a little bit further down the road, not a decision I'm looking to make right now, but I'm going places, I'm trying them out, doing different things. So that's cool. Man, it is. It's late in the year and there's a few mosquitoes in here. That's funny. I feel like I haven't seen any in a while. It's been like 80 degrees this fall. Yeah, October 29th today, like I said. I do believe that's right. And it was 80 degrees today. It does not feel like fall. It's been really weird. So I think that's going to be it for me today. I'll play us out with a little... You have a wonderful week. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you like guitar stuff and talking about it and hearing me go on my journey about guitars. Yeah, have a great week. I've all seen a man at the liquor store begging for your chain. Hair on his face is dirty, dreadlocked and full of mane. He asked a man for what he could spare with shame in his eyes. Well, get a job, you fucking slobs, all he replies. God forbid you had to walk a mile in his shoes, 'cause then you really might know what it's like to have to lose. And then you really might know what it's like, what it's like. And then you really might know what it's like, what it's like. And then you really might know what it's like, what it's like. And then you really might know what it's like, what it's like. Mary got pregnant from a kid named Tom, said he was in love. Said, baby darling, don't worry about a thing, I'm the man you've been dreaming of. 3 months later, he said he won't let her return her calls. She swear, goddamn, if I find that man, I'm cutting off his balls. Well, she catch some static walking through the clinic doors. And they call her a killer, and they call her a sinner, and they call her a whore. And God forbid you had to walk a mile in her shoes, then you really might know what it's like to have to choose. Peace out, have a good night.